Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mimi Podcast.
Hello, it's Malesh.
I'm Mia.
She's back.
Woo!
So Mia, let us know, what have you been up to since your absence?
Since my absence, I have been doing homework. But
Oh, Mia doing homework.
But I also am starting Yakuza.
Which one?
The first one. The, I guess, remastered.
Oh, Kiwami?
Yes. It's
That's nice.
on the PS4, yes.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. I think I played Kiwami. It's a game that's fun.
That doesn't sound very reassuring.
Oh, because I only played a little bit of it. I liked it, but the combat I just thought was a little weird.
Oh, I love it. Are you?
I've heard. I actually feel pretty redeemed because I think I listened to a podcast and they said how the combat isn't that great in it, and I was like, good.
Oh,
I'm
really?
not crazy. Thank God.
I have a lot of fun though. I like beating people with chairs, but then again, I haven't played it a whole lot yet. So
yeah, I think it's entertaining to watch. I just don't. It's not like I'm not looking forward to combat.
Interesting. Right now I do, but then again, yeah, we'll see how it goes as I play it because I literally just started.
Yeah,
and hopefully I get to play more of it within the next couple weeks.
Yeah, that's good.
I know it's really long though.
Is it really long?
I hear it's long. Most Japanese games are pretty long, aren't they?
I guess. I feel like since there's so many Yakuza games, I don't imagine them being too long.
Yeah. Well, speaking of it, this is a little off topic, but it is recent news about the newer Yakuza game being more Persona style.
Yeah, like a dragon.
Weird.
Well,
apparently, what my brother told me
okay.
is that that's originally what they wanted to do, though. They just didn't really know how to do it or something like that.
Yeah, because I remember when Like a Dragon was announced, I think last year or earlier this year, and I remember seeing like the Twitter screenshots and saying, "Yep, this is our RPG now." I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
I think it makes sense though, because I know the main character Ichiban. His name is Ichi something.
Ichiban. There's no way it's Ichiban.
It's Ichi something.
Okay, yeah.
But because his name is supposed to be like number 1 or whatever. But
Ichiro.
He's like the new main character, right? Because Kiryu has been the main character for like literally all of them before. So they're literally like kind of like refreshing everything. Because I don't think Like a Dragon is even called Yakuza 7. They just call it Like a Dragon. So it's a cool way of getting back into it. Like again, I'm not like gonna just buy it, but it looks interesting. Like it's kind of like Chrono Trigger in a way where your character. Oh no, I know what it's like. It's like Dragon Quest 11. There's 2 modes of combat you can do. One's like a free camera, and one is a fixed camera perspective, like how most Dragon Quest games are. And I tried messing around with the free camera mode. I thought, like, oh, maybe this enemy's attacked me. Maybe I can dodge it. And then I realized, oh, nothing mattered. Even if you move out of the way or whatever, there's no advantage or disadvantage. So I just stuck with the fixed camera mode. And I know Like a Dragon is like that too.
Yeah, they're just kind of weird to have like that turn-based thing. And they're like, hey, you can move, but like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I know like Final Fantasy 13-2 is like that.
Oh, really?
Wasn't it? Not 13-2.
You're talking about Lightning Returns. Because not Lightning.
The first Final Fantasy, wasn't it? No, I'm thinking of a different game. Shoot, what was the game?
Mia's washed.
I remember playing a game, and I remember being able to move, but moving did not do anything. It had to be 13.
It's not 13.
You couldn't move when you in 13 at all.
No.
Shoot.
I love 13, so yeah, I would know.
Yeah, I recently replayed it. I'm just trying to think. It was an RPG game.
Because your character like moves around a little bit, but yeah, you can't control that.
What was I playing? I don't know. I can't remember, but I remember playing a game, and I was thinking about how I can move, but it doesn't matter. Do anything. It probably was Lightning Returns. Yeah,
because I know Lightning Return is different combat wise.
Yeah, you can block and you can.
They give you a bit more free movement.
Yeah. I guess technically you kind of can, like, avoid attacks if you really are, like, far enough away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, that's cool. So, I don't know, was my Persona thing accurate? That's just what my brother told me, because I didn't actually see it. He was like, yeah, it's gonna be good because it's like Persona, and I was like,
no. I mean, there are plenty of games that have copied Persona because it's very easy to copy what Persona does, and they're all bad. But Like a Dragon obviously has a lot more things going on for it. The fact that it still is Yakuza, there's still gonna be wacky characters. You're still gonna have like the city and stuff to explore. Like from what I can see from reviews and people's general consensus is that it's a good game and you're gonna like it if you like Yakuza. The JRPG combat isn't amazing from what I hear, but it is what it is.
That's disappointing. At least they're doing what they've always wanted to do. They're achieving their dreams.
Yeah, and I think it's a cool way to see like this franchise evolve in a way from going to having like this brawler combat to doing this, and I kind of respect it, and hopefully this pulls in new fans because like this is a game in theory I could just play because even though it is like the next Yakuza game, they are like trying to attract new fans and stuff by rebranding, having a new main character, and having like this new combat system.
So they're not really trying to connect it to like the title Yakuza. Like it's not going to be on like in the title at all.
Yakuza's in the title.
It is.
It's still called Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh, okay.
They just didn't put a number in it. It's
okay.
It's not called Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon.
Because I would think they'd want to take advantage of that title.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like really different. It's like,
yeah.
How much is this like a Yakuza game? Like,
but
I guess it's still in the Yakuza.
Yeah. Just think about it. I mean, it's like Final Fantasy.
That's true. You never see the opposite thing happen. That's weird. Like, this type of like transition into a turn-based combat thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen, does it?
No.
Yeah. For me, that's usually, I don't know. I'm not the biggest RPG.
She's gonna make me mad.
JRPG.
Oh, I'm getting mad.
Turn-based.
I'm getting mad.
Fan. Specifically because that usually includes a lot of like grinding and stuff. I'd say most of the time.
Or
I don't really like doing that. And I think that's the only reason that I'm not a big fan. Plus, I kind of just like being in the action and being able to react, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you're a bit more involved, but I've always liked turn-based games because, I grew up on them, and I think that there's still, like, Final Fantasy 13 has such a great battle system, and it feels so perfect to me where it's kind of a shame we haven't seen, besides Persona, really, in Dragon Quest 11, like, you're seeing more RPGs just go more action, which I don't hate. Like, I liked playing the Final Fantasy 7 remake. I like Kingdom Hearts and everything. 15 has an action-based one too. And it's like, I never disliked them. It's just kind of, I know that turn-based things can work, and it's not that complicated to make them work and make them engaging and fun. So it's like, it is what it is. And, you go from there. But
I mean, Persona 5 is definitely the funnest one I've played. The funnest turn-based game I've played, I think. Not that I've played like a ton.
Yeah.
But out of all of them, it's definitely that one. So if all games were like that, if all of them were like that, I'd be okay.
I still think 13 might have my favorite battle system.
I do like that one.
Because I think there's a lot of cool interactions and things you can do. Like Persona, to me, the amount of thinking you have to do for the fights is kind of minimal.
It is.
It's very much like Unga Boonga, what this guy is weak to.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it because it makes the battles go by faster, and there's some engagement in terms of trying to figure out what they're weak against.
Well, there's a lot of they're really flashy too, though.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of enjoyment comes with the presentation.
Yes. But to be fair, at the same time, it's like 3 and 4 people still like the combat in, and those games are not as flashy. Mia's mad. Mia's mad.
You know, 3 is actually the combat is
I think it's fine. Persona games have pretty much had the same combat in each of them. Like, if you look at 3 and 5, they're not that different from each other, right?
No, but yeah, no.
Obviously, the look is different because it just looks more dynamic and stuff, but the core, what you're doing is the same.
Pretty much, yeah. But, Final Fantasy 13 was, switching paradigms is my favorite part. Mm-hmm. Because that has that reaction that I like, the in the action, you have to react to whatever's happening in the battle, and you have to be fast about it when you're switching paradigms. Mm-hmm. You have to really think.
Yeah, because it's
strategically, but you have to think on the spot. You're like, oh, okay, then we're gonna go with this.
Yeah.
Oh no, we'll go with this one.
Paradigms are so good.
Yeah, the paradigm thing was really good.
It's so smart, man.
That was awesome.
It was always fun trying to figure out ways of effectively doing stuff. Like I remember I had like the Ravagers, which are like the maid guys. I'd have a team where it was just 3 of them.
Try disaster.
Yeah, and then you do like the 2 commandos and 2 Ravagers, or you do like the tank and then you have like the 2 buffs and debuffs guy. Like
I did a lot of going between like Cerberus and Try disaster. Cerberus is like 3 commandos.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess the one with like 2 Ravagers and commando is like
that's really
the
good.
most basic. That's like
it's really effective.
Yeah, really effective.
Like fun fact on 13, like the best characters are like Hope, Vanille, Fang, and Lightning.
Oh yeah, Hope. I think Hope. It was it Hope, Lightning, and Fang that I used through most of it. I think it was those 3. Because Hope is amazing.
Yeah.
Whenever you like really. Whenever he
gets
levels up path. And
yeah, like I think Vanilla is like the most broken character in the game because
she's
just the glue that holds everyone together. She just has so many good supportive options that it's almost hard not to have her in the group. Because Fang and Lightning are really great because
Fang is awesome.
They both are great commanders. Lightning is just the best character because she can pretty much do everything well. And then Fang's really great because she can do commando, the tank, and also do some of the debuff stuff really well too.
Yeah, that's what helps is because there's Hope has like which one? Synergist. He has a Synergist role off the bat, and Fang has a Saber-Tooth.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why they're always, why I used them a lot because they just had the right combination. I feel like those 3, Lightning.
Yeah, pretty much I would always have Lightning and Vanille in my party. And then I would switch. The third one I'd always switch. Like it would be like Saw sometimes, Fang sometimes, and Hope sometimes.
Yeah. And which is good because they were like just the characters that I preferred over the other characters too.
Most not useful character.
I mean, Saz unfortunately just
Saz is good for ravaging.
I think all the others are a little bit better than him. I think
like, Saz was good for being a Ravager though, and then having some good support stuff. Yeah. The problem with Snow is like. Lightning and Fang both just outdid him in everything.
Well, he had a lot of health though.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Like Fang was still a better tank than him, and Lightning was still a better commander and all that stuff in him. Because they both had better magical stats too than Snow.
Wouldn't you don't think Vanillas are better Ravager than Saz?
I mean, I think Saz is better than Snow just because there's not one thing Snow is really good at. Like being good in magic in that game is really important. Yeah. And if you're Snow and you're not that great at magic, and you have a character like Saz who's pretty good as a commander, can do stuff in ravaging, can give you some synergy, that's what to me more useful than like what Snow can do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I can add Saz to my team, and he's gonna fit most of the time. Snow, you have to be very like, you have to fit to him.
Yeah, I think I was using Saz like up until Fang came along. Yeah. Anyhow, I guess we should get to the main. Or what do you want to talk about? Something?
What? I miss playing visual novel. Me and my friend Messiah. We're playing this one called Sabbath of the Witch. It's fun.
What is it called?
Sabbath of the Witch. It's pretty decent.
You have a brief little, like just a very brief general. What's that about?
The main character has like this thing where he doesn't like being around people that much because he can kind of sense their emotions more vividly than others. So basically, if Mia is like really sad, he'll get like a bitter taste in his mouth.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, his emotional intelligence is so powerful. So he feels what people are feeling. So he doesn't want to be around them. Yeah, because it's a lot of like, so if somebody's like going through a lot of like anger and like depression and all this stuff, he's gonna get like overwhelmed. I wouldn't want to be that guy.
Yeah, so he's always been that way, and pretty much he doesn't really know why he's like that. Like he went to the doctor, and the doctor said we can't really do anything about it and whatever. So he's always kind of grown up being kind of just a loner. Like he has 2 friends in the beginning of the game, but he doesn't want to get too close to them either. And then pretty much the like class rep in the class rep in his class, she is like a very popular girl. People really like her. People go to her for like problems and stuff. And so she asks like, "Hey, main character, you got a problem?" He's like, "Nope," because he doesn't want to like tell her and try to like, because he's pretty content like nothing's really going to change his condition.
Okay.
And we're gonna get to a weird spot now. So he he does someone's library duty because he's just a nice guy and doesn't want to see that person be mad and experience that emotion. So while he's doing the library duty after school, the teacher comes in with the class rep girl, and the class rep girl has to be in the library after school for like 10-20 minutes because she's gonna find a book or something. Teacher's like, cool, I'm gonna leave. She thinks the main character hides because he's like, shit, they don't know I'm here for whatever reason. And then the girl, she starts humping a desk.
Really now?
Yep.
That's a What kind of visual? What is this rated, sir?
So that happens. The main character sees that, and she notices after she finishes and everything.
Is this like an arrow thing?
Yeah. And she notices that his backpack was there, and she's like, shit. And basically, long story short, after that, they meet up. They swear not to talk about it. He's not going to bring it up. But then he also finds out that she is a witch.
What?
She pretty much, she can contract with people, and whenever she makes a contract with someone, she has to have an adverse effect. So for her, it's being horny at random times. So that's why she did the desk humping.
That's funny.
And the main character's like, I guess I'll help you, because he wants to fill his heart because his heart's.
And he's gonna feel those emotions. Oh my gosh, I see what's happening.
Yeah.
Every time she feels horny, he's gonna be like,
nope, that's not how the game is.
No, that's not what's gonna happen.
That's not happening.
It's gotta be. Come on.
Okay, I did explain more. Basically,
he said he feels the emotions, right? Or
like I said, if you're feeling mad or sad, he'll get a better taste in his mouth.
Oh, literally? Just a literal bit. I didn't know you meant literally it tastes like bitterness.
Yeah. So
is that classified as a negative or a positive feeling?
Bitter, being sad?
No, being horny.
Oh, he senses energized and stuff like that.
Oh.
But the witch pretty much, she's getting these heart fragments, and all the heart fragments he broke one time, and the main character absorbed all of them in his heart. So he's working with her to close the hole in his heart so that the heart fragments come back to her.
Interesting.
So he works basically with helping other students solve their problems.
That sounds so cool at first, and then it just goes in a direction I don't expect.
What? It's interesting. I like it so far, but it's nothing amazing yet.
Oh, the main character does sound really interesting, though.
Yeah.
So is it just this one girl type of thing?
No, there's 4 or 5. I think there's 4 routes you can choose.
With different girls?
Yeah, pretty much some of them will just come in and be like, oh, hey, I need help with the club, and then they end up joining the club, and you're like, oh, potential love interest.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't have a take yet as who's best girl. Maybe it's the main girl, actually, TBH. But we'll see.
Oh, you gotta be basic, Milan.
I think most people would agree that most of the main heroines and heroes in visual novels are pretty mid.
I mean, you can't blame the creation of the character, whoever created the characters happened to make one girl the main girl the best one,
Yeah. Yep.
So
fun intro.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun little story.
Yeah. But beyond that, I've just been kind of watching anime, and that's about it. Oh, I got up to My Hero the manga. That's really good. Last chapter.
I want to read it now. Everybody's catching up now. Now I need to catch up. Dang it. Everybody's freaking out.
Still reading One Piece. We're almost to chapter 1000.
Didn't even hit 1,000 yet? I'm shocked.
But yeah, I think that's all I've been up to.
Cool. So I guess we can move on to our main topic.
Yep, 20 minutes in.
20 minutes in. Maybe I'll put in a little note, be like, here's the main topic here, if you want to skip straight to the main topic, so I don't upset anyone.
That's our longest intro we've done.
I know, right? But we just had such an interesting conversation.
Yeah, that people shouldn't skip. Yup.
Listen to us, please.
Alec, please.
Does he listen to our podcast?
Alec does. He follows us on Spotify, I'm pretty sure. He was on our podcast. I'd hope he listened to it.
Yeah, but doesn't mean does he listen to all of them? Do we have a dedicated listener?
We have one audience.
We have one audience. All right. So we both recently, well, me more recently,
I was about to say
Ghost of Tsushima. It's still recent because it came out
in July.
Came out in July.
I beat it in July.
I
probably either that or it was August.
Yeah, something like that. But
I think it was actually August I beat it in.
I think everyone knows that this is a really great game and it blew everybody's minds.
Yeah.
And we just want to talk about how much it blew our minds and
or
stuff
did
like
it?
That.
Dun.
I think they know the answer though. I mean, unless, we're trying to be contrarian here, you know what I mean?
Game's bad.
Actually, it stinks. It is bad.
This is the hot take.
No, it's like considering it came from that studio, Sucker Punch.
Yeah, I mean, Sucker Punch is good games. I don't know why you'd be came
from
that studio.
I wasn't expecting this because
I think it's definitely a step.
The only game I played was
Sly Cooper. Oh,
they made Sly Cooper.
Yeah, that's why there's a Sly Cooper costume thing in Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I only played like Infamous, so I was like, huh.
Yeah, I think the Infamous games are pretty fun.
Game.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's very different. Like, I remember when it first got revealed, I remember thinking, wow, this is what they're working on.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating.
Yeah.
And it's even more interesting because Sucker Punch isn't a Japanese studio. It's like American, right? And I remember when the game came out, and like Japanese studios were all like mad. They're like, how do these Westerners make a game about Japan better than anything we've ever made? I was
like, yeah, Infamous is very American, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very comic booky, superpowers.
Which I really like, by the way. I really like the second one, which I think is like one of those,
New Orleans one?
With the hip guy. The rebel guy.
I don't know. That's Second Son.
Second Son. That's the second one, right?
No, it was the third one.
Oh, there were two with the bald dude.
Yeah.
That's right. So, Second Son.
Yeah, Second
That
Son.
was the first game I played on the PS4, by the way.
I mean, that's the first game I played on PS4, by the way.
Nice. It was so much fun.
Yeah, the game was pretty entertaining. But it's kind of weird going from like that to then going to Ghost of Tsushima, which is such a different achievement in every way.
Yeah. So it's like awesome that they did such a good job.
Yeah.
They really did their research. I know they had to spend a lot of time doing research.
And like Tsushima isn't like an island that people really know about, right?
No, I never heard of it till this game.
Yeah. So I guess
I'm like, oh yeah, that place is real.
Yeah. Yeah, to kind of give a background, we're going to kind of first start with like the story and characters.
The story.
So the basic premise is pretty simple. You're Jin Sakai, who is, a loyal samurai.
I am Jin Sakai.
And basically, this is set right when the Mongolian Empire is invading Japan. So
yeah, that thing that happened in history. Yeah, they were like just destroying everyone.
Yep.
Yep.
So they saw Japan like, you're next. And so it basically tells the tale of them landing in Tsushima, which is the first spot they got to.
Well, that's actually the first spot.
Yeah, because they never... Fun history fact. The Mongols actually couldn't really invade Japan because every time they tried to go to the mainland, typhoons and storms would always be in the way. So that's why kamikaze is called that, because it means divine wind. They coined the term because they kept on getting saved from the wind from the Mongols. Fun Japanese fact.
That's cool. That's cool.
But so yeah, he's basically trying to stop the Mongolian invasion from happening, and he's in like this party. They're gonna fight in the beach, and those guys get destroyed.
The Japanese.
Yep.
Yeah, they get destroyed.
And he's pretty much like one of the few members that's pretty much survived, but he survived because this girl named Yuna saved him.
Yeah, he barely made it.
He
really honestly should have been dead. But...
Yeah. So he kind of views this as an opportunity to kind of save Japan, basically, and take back Tsushima. And the story kind of goes from that to then Jin learning about these ghost tactics, which are just him being stealthy, him killing people while they're asleep, or him, not going up to a person and be like, let's fight, and him sneakily just killing them.
Yeah.
And it's his journey of trying to get back to Japan while also trying to balance the side of being a samurai and being like more of a
balance
ghost.
His morals, like what's important, honor, or like what is the right thing for him to do.
Yeah.
It's like, does he follow like his roots, his samurai roots?
Yeah, like his growing up, because he grew up in an environment where his father died right in front of him, and he's kind of lived with his uncle, Lord Shimura.
As usual, we're gonna spoil everything, by the way.
So, when he's with his uncle, he grows up in this very much like honor-bound household, which Japanese people were like. So him trying to do this ghost stuff is very weird from him in the beginning. So
which, I don't know if anybody could caught on from that he gets nicknamed the Ghost because he's supposed to be dead.
Yeah,
really.
No, yeah, because
they're like, what the fuck? He's alive? Yeah. Whoa.
So I'll let you get started. Mia, what are your thoughts about the overall story?
Well, like getting into it, what really made me love it is the moment he started questioning his beliefs. The moment Yuna started being like, listen, you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do to survive at the end of the day. That's how she has lived her life. And Jin was like, dang, man, really? Like, he's like, am I really gonna just like sneak up on this dude and like slice his neck or whatever? And he did.
Yep.
And thus begun him, you know, they play these like flashbacks and stuff, and it really very nicely portrays his battle, that inner battle with, you know, very, without obviously stating it, you know, you don't hear him like state like lines like, should I follow my honor or should I do this thing? It's like very tastefully done too. It's very immersive. The whole game in general is immersive, but yeah, the story is just so well done.
Yeah. Well, like, I think for me, I was really impressed by the story too, because there are like side stories and side characters that we'll go into a little bit soon. Yeah. But like the main story of like his journey of like fighting for Japan, like his first major missions is basically getting his uncle back from prison because the Mongolians captured him. They're trying to persuade him to just, you know, aid us and we'll help you when we conquer all of Japan. But his uncle says, nah, I'm good. Yeah. So, you know, going from him rescuing him to then, you know, him driving out the Mongolian to like the big castle, and then kind of like the end of Act 3, which is really interesting, where Jin is now this kind of fugitive in a way because he does all these really dirty tactics, that all these ghost tactics, that his uncle's like, I've had enough of this, and
oh yeah,
we're now just gonna make you sort of be this bad guy that shouldn't be here. And Jin is still trying to like take back the Mongols and still kick their ass while having to deal with his uncle trying to like send all these people after him.
Yeah. It's like at the end of the day, he's trying to save his people, but the means of doing it
change
is what, yeah, the means of change is just the samurai do not believe in the way that he is kind of going about it.
Yeah, because like the main tipping off point between him and his uncle is this basically Jin decides to invade the Mongolian castle kind of by himself, even though they invaded it with a big army, but he kind of realized the Kutan Khan, the main villain, who's the main leader for the Mongolians, basically says, we're going to keep fighting it out, and a lot of people are going to die from both sides. And so he realizes that and decides, I don't want more people on my side to die, so I'm going to go to the camp, the castle, poison all the food for the Mongolians, and that'll be a good way for us to get a dub without having to worry about people dying. But when the uncle and everyone sees what he does, because you see all these dead Mongolians from poison, they're all like disgusted that someone would do such a thing because it's not honorable, right? Yeah. And the uncle decides then and there, you're not my, you know, kid, you're not my relative, like, get out.
Yeah. Interestingly though, I did see a couple of videos of like real practicing sword fighters and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like they practice like the samurai style and they know about all this stuff. I've seen a couple of videos like that of them reacting to some of the stuff from the game. And somebody said that the samurai honestly didn't have a code that quite that strict, as this game like kind of exaggerates the whole, like, you know, you have to call them out, you know, kill them hand to hand, like straightforward combat. They said that you just kind of just want to get them dead, no matter how you do it. Just kill the person. Yeah, that's what they said. But you know, I don't know. We don't know. We didn't live back then.
Unless.
But I still do like what the game did. You know, obviously everything in the game isn't like completely like real. So, but yeah, the poison thing. What was devastating is whenever they used it against. They ended up using the same thing against the Japanese, and they were like. Shimura, or what's his name? Yeah, Shimura's like, look what you did, Jin. Mm-hmm. You made him. You ended up making him die anyway. Like, and you just feel terrible because I feel like playing the game, you think he's doing the right thing. Like genuinely, I thought, you know, yeah, Jin, save your people, but then that happened, and you're like, shit.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because I think
he almost died again.
Yeah, and I think Kutan Khan, like the main villain throughout, is like she really good because of that. You see kind of throughout the entire story, he keeps trying to like break the Japanese spirit and make them follow the Mongolian way of just trying to, betray the people, and a lot of people are not going to die because we're going to have permission pretty much to go after the mainland Japan. And you see him do all these like dirty tactics, like, one of the reasons why the Japanese were so at a loss against the Mongolians was because Mongolians, like Mia said before about the Japanese samurai doing whatever, Mongolians literally did whatever also to win. And they would, not care that you said their name or whatever. They would just beat you up and kill you in the most effective way possible.
Yeah.
So Kutan
they played really dirty.
Yeah, so Khan does a lot of like really smart tactics throughout. And you kind of see how Jin wants to like respond to that, and then he does, and Kutan's like, "Oh, that's cute. You can do poison, well, I can do poison too now. Thanks for letting me know." Yeah, I thought that was really nice. Yeah. And I guess my ending thought would just be about the story. I think it's actually really nice. It has a really good act structure, and I think every act has a really significant moment in it that's really exciting or really cool. Like, I love in Act 2 when you actually are invading the castle and trying to get back, because it's really exciting. It's fun seeing all the characters you've gathered like just go all out for the most part.
Oh yeah.
And like Act 3, like my favorite moments, like the end where you fight Shimura and you basically decide, you want to kill him or spare him. And I think both ways were very touching and kind of true to what, however you kind of want to view Jin as. Like, it's actually pretty funny because me and Mia did different endings. I killed him and Mia didn't. And tell you what, it was really tough killing him. Like, it sucked.
Be, yeah. I almost was kind of like, oh, I wish I would have killed him, because it would have been even more emotional.
Yeah.
It would have been a way bigger, like, emotional ending.
Yeah, because I remember, like, a big thing with Shimura is, like, he always calls Jin his son because he never, like, had his son, I guess, properly. So...
And, like, that's all Jin had after his father died.
Yeah. So Jin always kind of viewed him as, like, this fatherly person. And so, being called a son to him was always, like, a big deal.
Yeah, he was even going to adopt him before he, dishonored the samurai way or whatever.
Yeah, so... And then after the poison thing, he's like, "You're not my son. I don't like you anymore." And, like, when you have, like, the last fight, it's really brilliant because... Jin doesn't want to fight him. And as a character, like, I think the game does a good job where... I didn't want to fight him either, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad for Jin, and this is such a weird situation, but you kind of get why it's happening. And I remember, when it's over, it's like you choose to let him die or not, and I chose to let him die because Shimura was so in his ways about being honorable and having these traditions and stuff like that. So I kind of felt like, in order to honor him, I felt like that would make the most sense to kill him. And I remember being really sad, especially because, like, he calls, like, "Thank you, son," at the end, and I was like, that hurt.
Yeah, see, I thought about that. Like, I really put a lot of thought into the ending, because I was like, that is the honorable way he wants to go. For him, that would satisfy him, or so he thinks, or whatever. And then I was like, well, Jin's already, gone way against that, and, he doesn't really care about that system anymore. And I was like, but I don't know if the right thing to do is to kill his own father, basically. Mm-hmm. So I tried to just go with what I thought would be, like, the right thing to do, generally. I don't know, without worrying about, I guess, the honor thing. I was like, he kind of has, according to Shimura, he has no honor anyway at this point, so might as well just I don't know.
I mean, the whole point,
it was still like a really hard thing for him. He's like, I can't kill my family, whatever. Yeah. I guess it was also to, well, no, never mind. But he's like, yeah, go live, dude.
Yeah,
try to, because I think in the future he would want people to not restrain themselves to this strict system. And I think that would be, like, the start of kind of, like, you don't have to die in this way, or, like, that, or whatever.
Yeah, and I think also...
That's the thought process.
I think the main thing, too, is the fact that that's just, like, the ghost ending, right? It's like, you let him live, and you kind of showcase to him that you're not honored by anything, and you're kind of just this free spirit that can do what he wants.
Yeah, basically. But he's still like, and at least in our eyes, he's still like a good person because he's trying to protect people.
Yeah.
His people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
So yeah, I think the story itself pretty nice, pretty solid.
Did such a good job.
And it was just very engaging most of the time, which I really enjoyed.
Loved it. It wouldn't be as engaging if the characters weren't so well made too.
Yeah, speaking of characters, ding ding ding, here's segue time. I mean, there's a lot of characters here. Jin has a lot of companions.
Yeah, we went into a lot of just talking about Jin already, so I think it's clear that he's just such a well-made character because he's very you can empathize with him really very well. He's just built very human.
Oh yeah, I thought you were saying he's built different, but no.
No, he's very human. He's going through human struggles.
Yeah,
that
like even
we all understand.
Yeah, I mean he has survivor's guilt.
Yeah,
and it's really fun like having a main character like Jin who is this fresh face in video games, and he has like this survivor's guilt, right? Like being the only person to survive out of this really grand battle, right? And then feeling like he has to sort of live for a bunch of people, right? Mm-hmm. And then, like Mia was talking about earlier, with the whole him dealing with becoming more ghostly and embracing those tactics, right? It's really fascinating because, like as a person yourself, if you have to sort of rely on this entire new way of thinking, even though you grew up one way, of course it's gonna be really tough because it's like do you this feels dirty in a lot of ways, right? When you do just kill someone, you just backstab them, right? Mm-hmm. And I really just thought it was a really good struggle. It always felt important. Sometimes I did think, like, I guess one thing I kind of wish the game did was, I think it would have been pretty neat if you could kind of control that a bit more.
Control what?
Like, there are some missions in the game where you just have to do ghost stuff. Right?
Okay.
Like you had to. Yeah. Like I think it would have been interesting if you could just not.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. I actually thought about that too. Because, I mean, they make you do it the first time, right?
Yeah, and
And I thought, and throughout the game, I was like, oh, this is serious. It was like, oh, this is serious doing this for him. So I was like, maybe I can avoid doing that. And, well, I don't know. Can you do it? Can't you? I think you can, like, sneak around for the most part, right? Or no, you do have to kill, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, it's like you have to do both of them. There's not total freedom in terms of which way you lean.
Yeah.
Which, for the most of the game, you can't. Most of the time, you are able to choose which way you kind of go about and do things. But I did kind of feel like...
There are points where you're definitely, like, you don't have a choice. You have to...
Yeah, it's mainly for, like, story quest missions, which are fine, but... I think if you're trying to showcase the struggle, I think it would be pretty... Like, I guess... I was going to say...
If you had an option, be like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Or, like, all right,
or just not, this. Like... Or you could just be like, oh, Jen, you can sneak to do this, or you can just kill everyone to do this, right?
I think that would be great.
Because I just feel it would really add to that moment, and the game already gives you choice with what ending you have. Yeah. So it's like, at that point... I'm kind of interested as to what they're...
I mean, I guess that would conflict with the story and how Shimura has to be like disappointed with him at some point.
Yes. Yeah.
So I guess they had to kind of
force
make you
some
do
stuff.
That sometimes. Yeah. But,
I mean, I definitely played mixed most of the time, so it didn't really matter. But
I got over it, and I was like, you know what, I'll just assassinate because I have to. It doesn't affect, like, you don't have like a moral like bar stat or anything like that. So,
but yeah, Jin is a really good main character. He has a lot of interesting goals and ideologies.
Yeah, I like that he does have like distinct, still like morals and things like that, and like just like he's okay with killing. You know what I mean? That's something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was talking to my brother about something. And I was like, hey, well, this works because killing is no problem for him. That's something that he does. It just needs to be the right person. Like, they have to, like, deserve it. It's like, he believes that some people deserve to be killed. Mm-hmm. He doesn't mind, like, being that person that kills others. But he still is very like, what's the word for someone who's like a good guy? I was trying to say he was very justice, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes. I guess for the other characters, I guess we can like, I guess we'll just split it up in terms of, let's talk about, we can talk about Kutin next, or...
Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and go for Kutin Khan, the big bad guy.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
He's a really good bad guy. It's
yeah.
like, because he's so smart and
devious.
Cunning and just, yeah, he's very
devious. Yeah, because every time he would talk to Shimura and them, I always thought it was really fascinating because he puts them in a very interesting position where it's like, you can just let me go through your country and we'll be fine, or you could keep fighting me and all the people are going to die. What do you want to do? He keeps
trying to like negotiate, and he really tries to like, hey, we're just trying to survive. We're just doing what it takes to survive. We have to eat. We're people.
And like, it makes sense with the way Mongolians were, right? Where when they would take over countries and stuff, they have like the largest empire in the world. And a lot of why it succeeded was because a lot of the countries they took in, they didn't really force them to assimilate to what they wanted. It was just like, you guys can still do your thing, just give us tax money and a place to live, right? And that's kind of why he goes about getting Japan the way he does, because it's like, yeah, I'm going to kill a lot of you guys and get your main people, but I don't want to do this. So if you guys just let us go through and we can get some things, we'll be out of your hair.
It's like, in a way, yeah, it's so manipulative. It's like, it's kind of making it look like, this is your fault. You could have just sided with us. Yeah. And y'all would have been fine. Mm-hmm. But, you're all like, nah, so we're going to have to kill you. Yeah. This is your fault. You made this choice.
For sure.
There you go. Yeah, it's so deep. This character was so well made.
And he's also
I'm very happy. And his appearance too is very like
gruff, villainous.
What's the word?
Big Chung.
All of those things, but it's like intimidating. What's the word?
I mean,
he has a big presence. Yeah, he's like a big guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something I just like about his overall just like look. I'm like,
yeah,
it's like he's talking. I'm like, yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening to you, Khan.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely has a essence of like importance every time he says stuff. Every time he's in the room, you can definitely sense his presence.
Yeah.
And the thing I like about it too is the fact that you also want to kill him. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, even though we're kind of like gushing over him,
die.
Like, as soon as he killed Taka, I was like, oh, which raps, my guy?
You're evil. You're an evil man.
You're just an asshole at that point.
Yeah.
And it was really fulfilling, like, actually seeing him lose because, most of the game, he takes some L's and stuff, but you never really directly defeat him. So it's really great when he's like, shit, this Jin guy's, like, killing me.
Right, but at the end, he's talking so big up until, like, I guess the whole entire time, but he does start to sweat a little bit. Then he starts, let me throw dirt in your face. I'm gonna run. Stick. Yeah. He starts, like, panicking, like, gets all these other people to help him.
Yeah.
That was rough. Oh my gosh, that last part.
I forgot what the weapon was called.
I don't know what weapon he had. It was like a big thing, and they were like, other enemies kept like spawning. Yeah. I'm like, just let me fight him.
I think my character was just broken because I did like all the side quests and everything. So like Jin was just super strong. I never sweated that much, but yeah, Koten Khan. Good bad guy.
Good guy. Alright, I guess we go next important is Yuna. Because she's the reason that Jin is alive. And she also kind of influenced him into, like, breaking his morals.
Yeah. Yeah, Yuna's a good side character where she's really fascinating. I guess we'll talk about what I like about her. She's a very headstrong woman, right? Like, she does these devious attacks, right? Which is something... not many women were doing in like 1400s Japan, right? And I enjoy just kind of seeing that realness that she had in her.
Oh, yeah.
And willingness to keep surviving, I thought was really strong. And, it all ties in with Taka, her brother, who she kind of...
That was her main motivation most of the game.
Yeah, and I really like doing the side quest with her where you pretty much get back at like these bad guys that pretty much try to do a lot of bad things to Yuna and Taka, and it was really fun going through it and seeing Yuna get a revenge on these dangerous and bad people. Uh-huh. and I thought her relationship with Jin was kind of just cool to watch because you kind of think maybe it's going to be this sort of typical like romance kind of relationship, right? Which it always feels like it's hinting at, but nothing actually happens.
Yeah, it's very. I think it's just so vague enough that it's like they have a strong connection by the end, but I think it's easy for you to be able to interpret it as romantic or not.
Yeah.
I think because it could easily go romantic if it wanted it to be that way.
The only thing I found kind of dumb about her character was, this is more of like a story complaint than anything, was this, it always felt like every act she's like, after this, Jin, I'm leaving to go to mainland Japan. And then it's like, I'm like, no, you're not.
But she cares about Jin, so she can't leave. She's like, but Jin.
Okay, most of the time, so like the first act is over, she can't go because Shimura's like, you can't go unless you prove yourself to me.
Oh, yeah.
Second act, she is able to go. She just decides to basically, Taka dies.
Oh yeah, but that's because like, yeah, she was leaving, but Jin was like trying to get her help, but then Taka had to go and be like, I'm gonna help, and she was like, shit.
Yeah. And then Jin died, so she canceled her plans, and then you beat the game, she's still with you.
Taka died. I think you said Jin died.
Yeah. But, so yeah, I just felt like it's a weird plot point because like ultimately, if you're never gonna do it, why mention it that much?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't
have
any problems with it.
I just thought it was stupid because it doesn't add anything.
What, her leaving?
Her keeps saying she's going to leave doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything.
It doesn't amount to anything, right?
I mean, I guess not.
Because if she would have
like her character, because it's like, I think it emphasizes that. Because one of the reasons she wants to leave is because, okay, Tsushima, this place sucks, especially right now, and how she cares a lot less about the general people and more about just getting, herself, but particularly Taka safe.
Yeah.
And that's like just like a big thing. It's like, this is what I want to do. This is my goal.
Yeah.
And that she's more determined to do that. But then things happen, and then so when Taka's gone, she doesn't have this or feel this need to leave anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't amount to anything.
The character.
I suppose.
For character.
Like, okay, yes. Her motivation of wanting to leave Japan is tied to wanting Taka to be safe.
Yeah.
So that, yes, you're right.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's not that important, but
that's not that. It wasn't that big of a deal. Beyond that, yeah, I think she's a good. I feel like most of the side characters in the game are all pretty solid. Yuna's definitely the next most. Like her and Shimura are probably in the same tier of importance of character.
Yeah.
She's probably like
I think she beats Shimura. You said Shimura?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I think Shimura and Kuten are better characters than Yuna is. And I like them a bit more than Yuna, but
Yuna's still cool.
Yeah. I mean, she's a side character that has a lot of fun personality and does a lot of cool things.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see. What are we going on to next?
Well, how'd you feel about her side quest? Because she actually has a side quest line.
Well, I like them. I like how all her side quests were relied on being stealthy. Which usually... like there were some quests where there's like the quests where you can't really kill. Well, you can kill, I think, but there's that one quest. One quest I really liked was the guys who I think they have like slaves or something. Mm-hmm. They're the 3 guys. You had to behead all of them
without being caught.
That was quite a quest.
Yeah.
I liked doing that. It was very satisfying, and then it also really showed some of the like. I guess throughout the whole game, you see like this dark side of. You see all the dark things that these Mongols do.
And then like you're seeing these Japanese people that betray their own, right?
You see people like literally like burnt up on and stuck on sticks and stuff. It's like oof. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun.
Yep.
That's all I have to really say, I guess.
We talked about Taka.
Honestly, I don't know if... Actually, I would say, I don't know if I look forward to Yuna's missions that much, because I feel like they were all the same.
Well, they're all in the same place.
Oh, they're all the same, like...
Yeah, they're all like in the same region.
Slow. They're all the same slow, stealthy type of thing, and I don't know if I look forward to that much.
Yeah.
When I was playing.
I think in terms of like the side character story, like all their stuff quest wise, I think my favorite was Misako's. I liked a lot, and
I like Shimura's the most. I meant not Shimura.
I was about to say he doesn't have one.
Freaking Ishikawa.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about those two next kind of briefly. Like, I mean, Misako, her entire thing.
We gotta mention Ryuzo though.
Yeah, we can mention him later.
I mean, he's like the first part of the game.
And so are those two.
All right. But he only is like the first like half.
All right.
Right. It's like the first half.
He doesn't do anything in that. Oh yeah, because you kill him, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead, Mia. I'll let you take it away.
I don't know. There's Ryuzo as a childhood friend, and it was so easy to get kind of attached to him, even though you meet him. I feel like you don't meet him for it's like a shorter while. And that's when you meet like Ronin, the Straw Hats, and his Ronin troop. And his struggle was that, you know, his crew, they were hungry, and he was the leader of them, and he was having trouble feeding them. And so these guys are Ronin, so they don't work under anybody. They're not like as righteous as like samurai. And Ryuzu thought that he just needed to do whatever it took to feed his men. So he ended up betraying Jin, which was very unexpected. I didn't see it coming.
I mean, I saw it coming as soon as they're like, "Where's Ryuzo? We don't know." I'm like, "Oh, well, okay, I know what's happening then."
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, it's like, you know, I don't know. I think I expected him to like, yeah, this guy will be one of the side quests, you know, to help me out down the line. Like, oh no, it's gonna betray you.
Yeah, Ryuzo was a character I thought was he's a good character in the sense that it's good to have a character like him where you showcase Kutenkan's reasoning, his motivation, and his ability to persuade
here's an example of it working.
Yeah,
it's like here's an example of, you know, they'll collaborate with you, but Ryuzu also didn't know what he was getting into.
Yeah,
he still, because the Kutenkan, manipulative guy, still made him do horrible things, especially to Japanese people, because he had to show his loyalty. So it was like, burn this person. He was like, shit, I gotta burn this Japanese man.
And him fighting,
he had to fight Jin. Kutenkan knew what he was doing.
Yeah, and I liked his character because I thought that was some interesting like takes, and him dying was pretty powerful. Like, he's a good, solid, like, side villain person to kind of look forward to, like, fighting eventually, right? Because you always kind of look for, like, as soon as you betrayed, you're like, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so eventually Jin has to kill him, so that's really sad. Thoughts?
I thought I said all my thoughts about Ryuzo right there, Mia. TBH.
That's it? Okay.
How much? He's a side character. How much more you want me to talk about him?
I just wanted to mention him in importance in the plot.
Yeah, I said he was a good character that showed Kutenkan's thing.
Yeah. All right. So,
Misako and Ishikawa.
Those are two interesting. Those might be the most interesting for me. Those two specifically.
Out of the side characters, in terms of the ones you can have quest lines with. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I agree with that. Those are most
interesting quests.
Yeah.
Possibly Masako might be the most interesting.
Yeah, Masako.
Because that was almost like a mystery thriller.
Masako's one was really entertaining. To kind of get her story, it was she, during the night of the Mongolian invasion, like her entire family got assassinated.
This includes children, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, that's always devastating. Yeah. Is children just being slain.
And she's like the grandma, right? Yeah. She's not even like the mom. She's like the grandma of like her family. So like, you know, she lost her grandkids, her kids, her in-laws, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that sucks. Imagine being like an old... You expect to die before these people.
Yeah.
But here they are dying before you. That's crazy.
Yep, and so
This is how it starts.
And so her entire storyline is basically her working with Jin, because Jin wants her on his side because he knows that she's a strong ally to have. She's like, I'll help you if you help me find out more about the people that killed my family. Right. So you keep going these really fun missions with her where each mission you get closer and closer to the truth, where eventually you find out that it was actually like her younger sister that sent out the assassins to kill all of her family because the younger sister was jealous that Misako married into like a nice family, had like this really ideal life, and
it's like a sibling rivalry where like one sibling got the good life and the other one felt like they got robbed.
Yeah.
By that sibling because that sibling was like the golden child basically. Yeah. And which was Masako. Masako was the like golden child, even though she was younger.
So that was pretty crazy. And I remember doing the last mission in the snow, like where you invade the castle and stuff, and be like, this is crazy.
This is so crazy.
And I just remember like my favorite thing about Misako stuff was also just her. I found her really fascinating where she really had to deal with like the death in her family, like her going berserk and her, just thinking of like
wild
of like everything that she's going through. It's just really fun to watch. Like even like the like tale she has with like the lady that like she kind of loved.
Yeah, there were some weird messy romantic.
Yeah, she like kind of had an affair. Yeah, she like this affair with this maid servant girl.
Yeah.
I just thought she was a really interesting side character. Again, kind of showcasing this sort of vengeance and how you can tell she did not care how she got to her answer.
Yeah, it was and I like how throughout this whole journey, slowly Jin is like questioning a lot of things. He's like, wait a minute. Well, wait. he's like that doesn't sound right. Is what you're saying the truth, or did something else happen with your sister? Because it was whenever she was like, there was one point where she was explaining like, oh yeah, I introduced her to this other guy who was,
all the way up in the north.
And he's like, you sent her all the way in this area, and then he's like skeptical about this stuff because he's kind of catching on, and he sees that she's unwinding throughout this journey and goes like almost literally insane.
Yeah, like
but I think she still doesn't completely lose herself.
Yeah, I mean Jin helps her with that.
Thanks to Jin.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she probably would.
I mean, you fight her quite literally.
Yeah. So
you'd be like, "Hey, relax."
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild. Her character arc is just.
That's why she's the best character.
Yep. I guess. And yeah, that's crazy. Her sister's like, yeah, actually, that husband was horrible. It's like, I don't know. I was questioning. I was like, well, is what she's saying really the truth, or? But yeah, it's like at the end of the day, it was just a bunch of jealousy.
Yeah.
It's so interesting when you boil it down. It feels like a really petty sibling, like family altercation thing. But it was blown up to this big, huge mess.
And another thing I like about all of her side questers, like there's all like just memorable ones. Like I remember like, the final one, and also the one where you're in the beach and you're trying to figure out like some remnants of like her lost children that were sent out to fight in like the beach area. And like her getting really sad when she finds like, all of her family also died in this battle, and like it was just a really nice touch to kind of showcase like how much the family meant to her, and how you see how Jin trying to console her again, basically, about losing more family and being in this very weird predicament where you pretty much have, like, no one else in your fam.
Mm-hmm. So, overall, good.
Yeah.
Great.
I always look forward to doing her stuff.
Yeah, I think that was the best one, in my opinion.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, probably the best one. And then, we were going to talk about also Ishikawa. That one, a little anticlimactic, in my opinion. But... yeah, that one is just about trying to. Ishikawa had he was mentoring someone who was just so good, like scary good, because she's so good. He wanted to pass down his knowledge of the bow to this person, Tomoe, and she ended up turning against him and siding with the Mongols. And so that was a huge problem. And Jin is here to help him stop this huge problem because she's dangerously good. And they're like, shit. We don't want her against us. We have to kill her. Yeah,
and she's also teaching the Mongols too, like how to properly use the bow and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's how she's being alive. That's part of why she's still alive. Because they're doing that thing where they're like, hey, work with us. Help us. We help you out.
Because she wants to go to China or something, right? Or go to mainland Japan.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't find that out later though. It's like through most of this, she's painted as just this bad person. This is another one of those where Jin is kind of like questioning. He's like, you're kind of a dick, Ishikawa. He's like, I'm starting to understand why she might have like ran away from you or whatever.
Yeah, especially when like Ishikawa keeps saying, "As soon as you see Tomoe, kill her."
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but
yeah, I like the Ishikawa stuff. I thought him and Tomoe as a dynamic was fun and interesting because you have like this very well-renowned archer that, you know, he's supposed to in theory pass down all of his stuff to other famous nobles or people that are like well regarded and known. So passing it to Tomoe, this random lady that no one knows anything about, is so off the cuff, but he's so enamored with her skill with the bow that he doesn't care about that. And then you see him being heartbroken because you see like he's had like this past history of like taking apprentices but never caring. Now that he has an apprentice he cares about, they just leave because they're just out.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of liked the way Jin was like, "I'll be that apprentice that doesn't leave," quote unquote, right?
Yeah, that's nice. Endearing. He's like,
but
you know, I guess I could be your son too, Ishikawa.
Yeah. And beyond that, though, my main problem, I guess, with Ishikawa's storyline was that it didn't really feel like Ishikawa. I didn't really feel like we learned more about him that much. Like, it kind of just felt like he was a static character throughout. Nothing really changed with him.
A bit.
I mean, yes, he does eventually let Tomoe go and stuff, but it's like I kind of just felt he was about the same, which wasn't bad per se, but it was more interesting learning about Tomoe than seeing what his reaction would be.
I mean, whenever he let Tomoe go, I think it was a little bit of change.
Yeah, but nothing.
I guess it wasn't that major though.
And right. That's like the last mission too, right? You have like 7 before that, right?
That's true. I don't know. Hold on, I'm drawing a blank. I feel like I had things to say, but my mind is like blanking out.
Don't look at Mimi. I don't know what you want to say.
I don't know. Just keep talking. I'll cut that out.
Yep, there isn't really much else I have to say about Ishikawa beyond. I thought he was a fun story arc. The Tomoe stuff is cool to see where it goes because, you know, whenever you first see her, she's kind of hot. So I was like, this girl's pretty cute. I guess. Where's this gonna head? And then you kind of see how she wants these broader horizon where she does other things in Japan. I thought that was a little nice touch.
But I do like that all of them aren't like, you know, these are just real Japanese people. Yeah. So nobody looks like they have makeup on or anything like that. So everybody's just just in their most natural state. Yeah. So, because like if you see like all these characters are modeled after their voice actors, they're just edited a little bit to look more older aged, not older aged, but like older time period. They like might add like a little like extra dirt or hair and like change their hair up and stuff to match the era. And you look at them, you're like, oh yeah, these are like really good looking people, but it's like in the game they're all like roughed up and stuff like that. So, but
Tomoe, I thought she was hot. Because in this game there are not many hot women, so like.
Yeah, I'm glad though. I appreciate that. You just give us some regular people, because you know that's what kind of game this is. It's not about we're not about like trying to idealize anybody or anything.
Did you want to talk about anybody else?
Yeah, I guess not until I guess Kenji's funny. I'll throw that out there. He's a funny guy.
His pictures are pretty funny. I always like being in the sake little carriage thing and hiding in there. I thought that was always funny.
I also did kind of feel for him because he was trying to help, but he was the type of character that he would kind of screw things. He would help in the most horrible ways. Yeah. He would get people in trouble. He'd get Jin in trouble. Or get Jin... Some of his missions are Jin cleaning up a mess for him. So...
And Norio, he's like the last guy that has a major like side quest thing.
I do actually really like Norio.
Norio's really cool because he's like a warrior monk. So him sort of balancing him being pretty religious and trying to make sure he's not super aggro and aggressive.
I think in that way he's very similar to Jin.
I mean, I think that's why they get along.
Yeah, as far as he has a certain way that he was raised, and he adopted this warrior part.
And he also has
because he believed in fighting for
and he also
people.
He also has like the survivor's guilt too, right? Where he's like the last of his little warrior monk thing. His brother is seemingly dead because he got captured and everything, right? And so he feels like he has to live for all these people. So him and Jen can really relate to each other.
Jim is his English name.
So I liked all of his stuff. They were pretty fun, but
he's definitely like, I feel really like sentimental about Norio. Like,
I mean, he legit goes crazy.
He does, but it's like, I don't know. He's like I think just out of all the characters.
So you're saying he's like he's a good kid in a Mad City.
You know what I mean? Yeah. His situations really made him bad.
Yeah.
At the end, it wasn't too bad, but it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to see like, oh, my brother's actually alive, but he has no.
Definitely, this was the most devastating scene for me in the entire game. Is Norio seeing what happened to his brother was absolutely devastating. I was so I just was like, oh my god.
Yep.
No, it's no wonder he ended up burning that town.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap.
It was bad.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And now we're gonna move on to our next little discussion, which is gonna be mainly about like the actual gameplay and exploration itself.
How cool it is! It's so beautiful.
Yeah, like I was telling Mia, like when I was first playing, this might be the most beautiful game I've played, because there were so many moments and opportunities where you just see like this vista of flowers, natural, elements, mountains, the river, and it was like there are so many moments in that game where you just see like this beautiful floral field or whatever, and you just want to like take a little screenshot and be like, hell yeah.
There's a lot of like cool details in there too. Like if you walk through tall grass, you see Jin start running his fingers through the grass.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's just like the aesthetic is really strong.
And now it's like I have to look up pictures of Tsushima now. I'm like, there's no way it's that pretty, right? There's no way, but I believe that maybe they do have trees that turn that color.
And also, to be fair, it's also set 700 years.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. So I do think about how it's like,
not like
this is before humans,
industrialized and all that
messed
stuff.
things up a little bit,
made roads,
shook nature a little bit.
Cars.
Nature could really be at its true potential and true beauty.
I like having AC, Mia, so who cares? I like having a car, who cares?
It's like, but it's like, so it's such a shame.
Yeah.
To not be able to witness that. I mean, I'm sure some of those plants could exist, but it's so cool. I'm like, how many different colored trees can there be?
Mm-hmm.
And there's like, they have those fields of like just all red, all white, all yellow.
Beautiful.
Amazing. And then, so the gameplay mechanics, I love how they were able to incorporate some things without it distracting you from the scenery, like the game, like the wind, the guiding wind. That was the most brilliant thing ever. I was like mind blown whenever I first saw you could do that. I was like, there's no mini map to distract me. There's no stupid like marker.
Compass,
you just follow the wind. The screen is clear of junk.
Uh-huh.
It's the most optimal gameplay experience, I feel like. I'm like, you guys did it.
Yeah, I love that too. It's just like, I think the thing we've seen from open world games now is like this emphasis on exploration again, right? With stuff like Breath of the Wild, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now this, you're seeing this really fine-tuned and joy of like exploring places, and I really like just going around Tsushima's map and just finding like new areas that just looked really cool to visit, like the waterfall town, seeing the different fields, going to like the more icy areas too. Like,
they really took advantage of Japan's what's the word? Geography?
Yeah. And like doing the shrines, right? To keep climbing and getting higher, it was always really fun, and like seeing the different little aspects of it. Like the game's smart because it also has like the foxes that you can follow, the birds you can follow. So
that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't have this map cluttered with mess. They just kind of just feed it to you as you go through the game,
which is really smart.
Here's a fox. Oh, where's that fox going? Oh, a shrine. What?
Yeah.
Pet the fox after you're done. I always pet the fox.
Because I think a problem that...
Oh, and the golden bird. That's also a cool one. And in-game, he's like Oh, where's that bird going? Maybe I should follow it and maybe like find something.
And I think a lot of it also, it's nice not having that mini map or compass because, well, I can understand the uses of them because they've been around forever. There definitely is that tunnel vision that you're gonna have, right? It's like,
yeah,
I know where this is, so let me just go there, and then you just go straight there and not really do much exploring.
Yeah.
So I enjoy the sort of reward system you got because every time you did find a bird or a fox, you got stuff for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really like, oh, this random Ronin's like, I've been waiting for you.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, wait, what? This is pretty cool.
That's funny. Yeah, it's like I just think it's so innovative. That was just such a brilliant thing to come up with. I just want to like shake the hand of whoever was like,
wind.
We're gonna do this. wind, birds, fox. We got it.
Yeah, it made everything very.
Because I don't think I've ever played a game that did it this well. Right? Like, have you played any other game that?
I think Breath of the Wild is the most.
But they still have a map. I
mean, they still have a map, but the map in Breath of the Wild is so big.
Yeah.
Where it's like, even if you set a compass or a waypoint somewhere, you still have to get there, right? So a lot of like getting, like, it's not simple to get places in Breath of the Wild.
But how do you get there? You just follow like a waypoint. Like if you make a marker on your map, how do you get there?
You just have to walk over there.
You walk over there, but how do you know what direction you're going?
You don't.
Exactly.
Breath of the Wild is the same thing, though. You don't know the way you're going.
No. I'm talking about in this game, though.
And I'm talking about Breath of the Wild, though.
No. So what I'm distinguishing is that they're telling you where to go without being in your face.
Yeah, I like both. I just think Breath of the Wild rewards you more for exploring, and I think.
Well, yeah, just random exploring. Yeah. Just looking around.
I understand what you mean.
This looks interesting. Let's go there.
Yeah. I think Ghost has I would say the second best.
Yeah. I mean, I just think if you're going to have waypoints, the way they did it is like the best way to do it. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a take I can respect.
So, I don't know how you could top that. Like, it's just so cool. Anything else? Oh, the fighting system's good.
Makes you think.
Yeah, you have to really.
It doesn't make you think.
Oh, it doesn't? No, I like that you have to think about a lot of things.
My problem.
Not think, but it's like you have a lot of
stances,
buttons to manage. You know what I mean? It's like if in battle, you can change between stances. You can change different weapons. Your throwing weapon. You can change your bow. You can. There's a lot of options in battle.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think my problem with it is like. It becomes like whenever you do sword fights, it's always fun the first couple of times, and it's just enjoyable seeing what happens. As you get more powerful, there's a good progression. But I do think it gets to a point sometimes, especially as you keep getting better gear and better, does everything else, you upgrade your sword fully. It's like, okay, me see sword enemy, sword stance, triangle, 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 a square. Oh, me see spear enemy, triangle, 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 stance, dead.
But I mean, that's a choice, right? And I think that's natural if...
I guess, but like, why would you not want to, like...
Oh, because I want to play with all the other stuff. Like, I think it's cool that you can be kind of, like, a little creative with, like, I'm gonna throw a bomb, I'm gonna throw this,
yeah.
Like, ching, ching, ching. Like,
the sword combat, you're always gonna do no matter what, though.
I mean, yeah.
So it's like, the sword combat, to me, I just feel it could have been better, because it's like, I like the stance idea, Probably. But it also just makes it so... Ding! Oh, giant time.
If they could, yeah, I think they did make it too easy with the triangle combos, but
I guess triangles is broken. Yeah, there's a lot of different.
There's a lot of ways to make it a lot easier, but I also do like you can't. Resources are pretty limited. I think, like as far as kunai go, there are several times I relied on kunai like a lot.
Oh, I didn't
in the beginning because. They're so OP.
They are good
when you upgrade them.
But triangle is also good.
Yeah, triangle's good, but the kunai is fun because you just like ching ching ching, and then just kind of just kill them all. Or sometimes they just die from one kunai.
Yeah.
When they get strong enough, and then a lot of the times I'd be like, I don't have any extra weapons anymore. Oh no! And I didn't really do a lot of the side quests as I went, so I was probably like a significant lower level a lot of the time. So I like to use a lot of that stuff, especially if it was a large group of enemies or something like that. But
yeah, I do enjoy the combat, and exploring is really fun. The missions, for the most part, have a good structure to them. Some of the side quests are a little boring because
the duels are really cool.
The duels are like the best part.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
So they take out all that extra stuff, and you just use a sword. That's all you got.
Yeah, I mean, you still have like your secret technique moves, which are broken.
Yeah, you still have that. But I don't know. See, I didn't completely take advantage of that because it's too easy. Like
I did.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, you could play on hard than me if you don't want to take advantage of that.
But then it'd be too hard. I'm not a gamer.
Okay.
I'm not a true gamer.
But
I was like, this is nice.
Yeah, overall though, I had a really fun time playing through it. Like I said, doing a lot of the side quests were a little sometimes be monotonous. I think I did all of them because of a trophy I wanted. I got all the trophies in the game. Yeah. So doing all of them are just fine.
I think it does still have that problem of like repetitive little mini
stuff
things everywhere.
Like
it's
how
just the same stuff.
Yeah. You know how in Odyssey people would be like all these question marks are just enemy camps.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like that meme where
ooh, what's this? We know what this is.
Yeah. And that's how it Ghost of Tsushima like does that, but to a lesser extent. Like, I love Odyssey a lot, and I remember this thinking it was really funny. Like, do I want to see what this question mark is? Because I'm like 80% sure it's going to be an enemy camp. Ding ding ding. It is.
Yeah, the haiku thing is cool, but it's like, how many of those do we need? And like, I don't know. It's like it's still at the end of the day, it's still one of those open world games where it's like, we don't really need all of this. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would be okay without most of it.
I like the haikus, though. I think they're good, cool aesthetically, and it's like you might as well do it because you're in Japan.
I still do
at the peak of like when haikus and stuff are famous.
Yeah, I still do them, but it's like
yes,
I'd rather do the hot springs way more because he has like thoughts. The thought thing comes up.
Okay.
And it's usually related to what's happening right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I really like that.
Yeah.
I like that thing. He's like little meditating. I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, overall though, the gameplay is really fun. It can get a little simple, but like Mia said, you can make it more diverse and interesting. The ghost stuff itself, I thought the stealth was pretty fun. Like whenever a game has stealth or more go full hog combat, I always try to do a mix of both where I'll do stealth until it stops working, and then I'm like, okay, I'll just oonga boonga my way through.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it's probably way too easy for anybody who's looking for like a true challenge.
I mean, you can play like hard and like ultra hard and stuff.
But I think it's like, I don't think it's complex enough to really be...
I feel like if you play on those difficulties, it will be, because the sword combat would not be as easy.
Because I don't know, because I'm like thinking like the sword combat alone isn't that complicated.
Yeah.
Honestly,
but I can see
it's like a handful of combos for each stance.
But I think probably what they would do is, since you would have limited resources to upgrade and everything, you'd have to focus probably more on like parrying and stuff like that. I just feel like, and you can't take as much damage, so inherently you can't get hit as much either, right?
Yeah, I think it's interesting with the resources. Like, I feel like in most games I play, you can find them so easily. Or you could buy them. In this game, you can't buy this stuff anywhere. You have to just literally find them.
You can buy some of them.
Which ones?
Like, you can buy some of the weapons.
No, you can buy like bombs and stuff?
Yeah.
What, you can?
Yeah. Like the hunter guys.
I was playing the game wrong. This whole time I'm like, I can't buy it. I thought all you could do was upgrade them.
Your currency is limited though, so like, yeah, like, because there's flowers. So I never bought them just because I didn't want to waste my flowers on it.
So can you buy like powered poison darts too?
I don't know if you can buy those. Yeah. I think you have to make but finding
for a while those are hard to.
But finding poison flowers isn't too hard.
No, for a while I wasn't seeing them anywhere until I got to like a certain point. I think they're more in like the upper island.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I was like, where are they? I haven't had darts forever. Come on,
darts are
give
broken.
me. They are. Then that's why you only get 2 of each starting off.
So are we done talking about this?
Yeah, we're done talking about this.
Okay.
We like it.
I think it's really fun.
It's not the best thing ever. Gameplay, I don't think.
Yeah, it's no Breath of the Wild gameplay.
Exploration is awesome.
Yeah.
I think it was also innovative, but yeah.
I agree with me on that.
Yeah.
And it's definitely just it's a fun time.
I can definitely still see how someone who like really has a distaste for open world games still is like.
This won't really change anything.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, it's still like most open world games.
Yep, but in a more smart way.
It's a bit more smart, yes. But story and characters should keep a person going, I think.
Yeah, you never feel like you're just stuck in a monotonous thing or anything.
Yeah. So, I have a question for you, Milish.
Okay.
Is this the game of the year?
I think you could argue it right now.
Right now? I think this is the biggest thing to come out this year, yeah. I think this got the most noise, right?
I would say Final Fantasy VII Remake probably got more noise than this.
You think so? Yeah, that makes sense.
And Last of Us Part 2 came out, which also had a lot of noise.
Yeah, but that had a lot of bad noise. We want good noise.
The bad noise of Last of Us Part 2 is so... I'm going to get mad. Anyway.
Oh, so you're a big fan of Last of Us 2.
Yes, people, like...
There's legit reasons for why people don't like it, though. I know, I've seen both sides of... I've never played it. I've never played either games. Yeah. But I did see both sides of liking it, not liking it, dumb reasons not to like it, also good reasons not to like it, but also good reasons to like it. You know what I mean? I've kind of looked at all those.
My take on Last of Us Part 2 is if you remove the story and characters component, which I understand is hard for people because that's a really big key as to why people like the games a lot, the overall game in terms of production and actually the way it plays is this baseline 7 out of 10 just good.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, the production value in that game is literally crazy. And, like, that game blew, like, there's so much detail in there. It is insane.
Yeah.
And depending how you feel about the story and characters, that will change how you feel about certain things. I really liked what they did. I can understand why people are mad about some of the decisions and some of the things that happen. I just enjoyed the story quite a bit. And I think people that say the game's trash or horrible, it's like, Jesus, man, like, this game is... Just play the game. Like,
have you seen Nikki Jakey's video about it? You should check it out.
Should I?
Yeah, it might. I think it's an interesting take on the game as a whole.
What's the summation of the take?
Summation is not that great, but it's pretty objective.
Okay.
It's not the best because it's more focusing on. He's kind of like, yeah, people feel this way, people feel that way. He's like, yeah, there's this about it, but there's also, though, there are some jarring problems, and he kind of like addresses it without the, because I know what you mean about people are just upset because I don't like this character, right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
the X character died, me mad.
Yeah, right. That's dumb stuff.
Yeah.
He doesn't go. He overlooks that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He looks at the objective, like, here's like, as far as writing and like here's some of the problems with gameplay. I don't know. It's just interesting, but it also might ruin the game for you. So
yeah, because I watched Video Game Donkey. He made a review on it, and he does like series reviews typically sometimes for his videos. I thought he did a really good breakdown of Last of Us Part 2 where he did a good job of like objectifying everything and kind of putting it in words that like I understand where he's coming from. Obviously, I'm going to be biased because he still gave the game a pretty good review. Like, he like an 8 out of 10 or something, right?
Okay.
Like, I think Last of Us Part 2, I think a lot of it just comes down to just how you feel about the story and stuff. And to me, I really like the interpretations that I made from the story.
Yeah.
And the character, like, responses. I think it's really powerful and sad. And there aren't, like, I think a game that where you have scenes that, make me cry, it just shows you, like, how much of an emotional impact things are.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you should just check out the video just because Nikki Jake is entertaining. I don't know if you've ever seen his videos, but like they're really fun.
I never heard of him.
Really?
No.
Dude. You're gonna be in for a treat.
Yeah.
His videos are great. He's hilarious.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I'll check it out.
They're well made. Well made. You won't be, even if you disagree, I think you'll appreciate just how funny it is.
Yeah. Because I do think a lot of the people's complaints with Last of Us Part 2, like, I read some of them, and I can understand. Like, I don't know if I would say the game is perfect, but I think there's a lot to like about it. And to me personally, like, it did what I wanted it to do.
And I think you're also trying to put credit where it's due. Like, hey, these people, made this super realistic looking, like, they put a lot of effort into, like, this gameplay. and the visual.
Yeah, like the production is so off the chain. It's like, to say this game is bad, I just want to punch someone. Because it's like, you know what's a bad game? Avengers.
Avengers?
Right?
That's a game?
Yeah, it's a game that came out this year, right?
Oh, jeez.
You know, like, any game that's buggy, any game that has, like, these, like, issues and stuff, like, just say you don't like the story if you think it's, right? Like, anyway, but that came out, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima. For me personally, Hades might be my favorite game of the year.
Oh. Hades. I never played Hades, but that's a big deal.
Hades is so fun, Mia. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. On the surface, I look at it and I'm like, will I like this?
It's definitely a Donald game.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised Donald's not playing it.
His computer probably can't run it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's why.
Yikes! I don't know. He could. I've seen him play like Skullgirls on it. Is it heavier than? Is it more processed
than Skullgirls? It probably is.
Oh, it didn't look like it was that complicated.
Oh, Mia being that person.
No. I'm not saying like.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but yeah, like he could get on Switch if he wanted to. I think Hades might be my favorite game.
What if we like looked at? What if we made predictions for like the Game Awards?
Okay.
That'd be fun. We could like look at what are the nominations. We can make predictions and see how right we are later when they come out.
But to answer the Ghost of Tsushima, is it my game of the year? No. I think it's probably my second favorite.
Oh yeah, personally, for me it is. But I didn't play a lot of games this year, but that was awesome.
I do think Cyberpunk's coming out like in 9 days.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, like come on.
Or is it going to be delayed again?
It's 9 days before release. I'll be shocked if it's delayed at this point.
What? When the last time it was last minute too? The last delay was last minute, wasn't it?
No, it was like 2-3 weeks in advance.
I hope not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they wouldn't do that again. I think people would be really freaking upset. Look at that, Animal Crossing. I didn't know it was on there. Wait a minute. I might have to retract that statement about Ghost of Tsushima being my game of the year, because I played I think forever because of the pandemic or whatever. This is something that people are really like upset about too, but for me it's like, so this pandemic is something we're all going to remember in the future. And I'm definitely going to remember that the whole month that I didn't have to go into work, I was playing Animal Crossing all freaking day, every day, for like weeks straight.
Yeah.
I enjoyed every single second of it. I went from like working almost overtime. I was working like crazy. I had like 8 days in a row without having a day off. And then all of a sudden I have nothing. And Animal Crossing comes out. Everybody was playing it. This is the biggest I'd ever seen Animal Crossing be.
For sure.
Crazy. So
I enjoyed my time playing Animal Crossing a lot. I think the game is really fun. I New Leaf stopped playing like a couple months.
Yeah, I didn't play that for too long.
I stopped playing New Horizons. I think the problem, like the blessing and curse that it coming out during the pandemic was just, I mean, the pandemic is still happening, but
yeah.
The blessing and curse was the fact that like people just played it to such an extreme amount, where I feel like Animal Crossing is great for like 30-minute sessions.
Yeah.
And when you're forced inside, like that's all you're really gonna do is keep doing things to make your island better. But to me, I got a little burnout on it, and I think I'll definitely probably go back to it eventually. Like I'm not done playing the game, maybe, who knows? But that to me, like, it's definitely a game I'm gonna remember, and I think there's a lot of great things about it. Is just that like Ghost of Tsushima is a game that I feel like I can go back to any time and have a lot of fun with it, and there's a lot of emotional and like I feel like a game like Animal Crossing, if it was to be my game of the year, would be something like Stardew Valley could be in that kind of level where like it could almost be that way for me. But I think games like Animal Crossing are hard for me to be my game of the year.
That makes sense.
Because it's like that experience is always continuous, where my time in Animal Crossing can always be done, but it could also not be done.
Do you prefer like having kind of like a end goal?
Well, I think
like having like tasks and then ultimately leading to an end goal, and then you complete it, like being able to complete something.
I would say that more so than not having any.
Like, are you completionist type?
It depends on the game.
Depends.
Like,
because I feel like, I don't know, I get that vibe from you, especially because you used to be really like, you even if you didn't like an anime, right, you used to just try to complete it.
Yeah.
So just to have it finished.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
yeah, Animal Crossing. My first experience with it was New Leaf, and I remember having a really great time. I played that. I got it in July, and I remember playing up until like I stopped playing right when like January happened. So.
Well, see, yeah, I started with New Leaf, and I definitely didn't get as invested. See, because what I meant when I said, though, it's kind of a bad thing for it to come out during the pandemic, because some people don't want it to be related to the memories of like this bad thing. They don't. Some people don't like that, but I don't know. I think the reason why I got so invested into it is because I felt like I had all the time in the world. So I felt like I could be, how do I explain it? I could just be as slow as I wanted. Yeah. It was like, I don't know. I feel like when I'm busier, I feel this need to like, oh, let me squeeze in game time. Let me squeeze this in. And this is the kind of thing where I was like, all right, let me get this out of the way, get my chores out of the way. It is kind of like a chore game, right? That's what people call it. And it felt more like a chore whenever I'm like busy. When I had nothing to do, it was like, it's like cleaning your house. You're like, I have nothing to do, so cleaning my house sounds fun right now. For sure. It was to the point where playing it day by day was so hard because you run out of things to do when you start. That's so crazy. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, never forget.
The nominees, by the way, are Doom Eternal.
Oh, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Hades.
And Last of Us Part 2.
And Animal Crossing. But
I think I'd go with Hades.
I think the winner might be Hades.
I think it's gonna be between that or Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah.
I want to say okay. I'm just gonna officially say I think the winner would be Ghost of Tsushima. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, if Doom Eternal won, I'd be like, okay, how did that happen? But any of these could win, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I don't care too much. I just don't think Doom would win at all.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake's really fun. I think there's a lot to like about it. I just think Ghost is a better... Like, there's problems that Final Fantasy VII has that the other ones don't. Hades is just almost... Hades is so fun.
I feel like The Last of Us Part 2 would be too controversial to win.
I think it'd be pretty neat.
I think it could win, but...
Yeah, I mean, the game is
I personally think that it's too controversial for it to really take it compared to the other games.
Yeah. I kind of want Hades to win because that game is so good.
I wouldn't be surprised because it's the most recent. This is probably the most recent, right? Out of all these games.
Yes.
And
well, no, actually, it's been in early access for a year.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and it officially came out like in summer.
Because I just now started hearing people talk about it though.
Anyway, you should play Hades somehow.
I'll try it out.
I mean, you can play it at my house.
So that's Game of the Year category. Best Game Direction. For me, Ghost of Tsushima, and I would give it to... I haven't played Final... See, the problem is I haven't played these games.
Anyway, the nominees are Final Fantasy VII, Ghost, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, which is the VR Half-Life game, and Last of Us Part 2. I'd go Last of Us Part 2, but...
Makes sense.
I could also see Final Fantasy VII Remake getting it. I think that there's a lot of cool directing things in that game.
I think for this one, it probably is between Final Fantasy and Last of Us Part 2.
I would probably go Final Fantasy here because I don't think it's going to win anything else besides... This is a character I feel like it could most win.
I think I'm going to predict that Last of Us will win this one. Okay. Because this one's like just a movie. All right.
So, I mean, you can argue the same thing about Final Fantasy VII, though.
I guess you're right. I don't know. I'm going to go with Last of Us.
I think if you played Remake and understood some of the stuff behind it, you'd change your tune.
Maybe I would. Maybe.
Because there's some big brain stuff happening in Remake that I don't want to make Eric happy.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of knowledge, but I'm trying to make the best guess that I can make because I want to try to be right if I can.
Best narrative, 13 Centennials Aegis Trim, which I just bought because it was on sale. So I will see if this game is the best narrative. I've heard good things about it, though. I've heard it's really interesting. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost, Hades, Last of Us.
How do you feel about the Hades narrative? Does it have a deep one? Does it really have one?
I don't like. It has funny banter and stuff like because you're the prince of the underworld and your dad's Hades and you're trying to like get out. So you have these conversations with like some of the famous Greek gods and heroes and stuff. It's fun. My answer here is Last of Us Part 2, but I haven't played 13 Centennials and I do want to actually play that because I think that game will also be really cool story wise. I like the 7 Remake story. Ghost of Tsushima story is good. I think in terms of narrative experience, I think Last of Us would win for me because I think that is the most. I guess like. I feel like what the characters in that story do, and the way they react to things is the most compelling out of any of the ones we've seen.
Which one?
In Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, okay.
I haven't played 13 Centennials, so maybe it could be that, because I've heard a lot of people say a lot of great things about the psyche and all that stuff in this game, too.
13 Sentinels?
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of it, because I'm not a true gamer.
Oops, Mia, no.
You have a back button on your mouth.
I do.
Okay. Come on.
Who do you think is going to win, then?
So I'll just say that my favorite out of these, that's the only one I played, is Ghost of Tsushima. And I honestly think that Tsushima will win it.
Best art direction.
Wait, because that comes from the controversialness of Last of Us Part 2 hinders it.
That has to win something.
I think it will. No, I think it'll win direction though.
Oh.
But I think so that controversy hinders it a lot. So I'm not gonna be quick to pick it.
I don't get how Hades is nominated for this.
Hades. I don't know.
I guess you could argue just because.
From what you say, I don't think this would win it. It better not. And then, like, Final Fantasy is, like, that's not even, like, complete, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Technically. I haven't played, I don't know anything
I can let
about
you,
that.
If I finish that game, I'll let you borrow it.
Okay, but...
It's actually a bit physically.
Wait, which one? This one?
The 13 Sentinels?
Sentinels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Best art direction. Hades. Done. Moving on. Or you could argue Ori. Like, the nominees are Final Fantasy, Ghost, Hades.
Ori looks nice.
Ori in the Will of the Wisp or Last of Us. Hades or Ori. Those games are both beautiful. Yeah, Ori has a great art style. I think it would actually win. Even though I love the way Hades looks.
I think Final Fantasy is a strong contender, too.
Yeah, that's an option. Hades and Ori the Will of the Wisp.
I'm sure people really like the Hades style.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
The characters look so hot.
It's a tough one.
I think Ori will win just because it's nominated for this one. It feels like we just had to put it in their common nominee.
I think people are going to be attracted to voting for that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, look at this here.
Yeah,
like,
it looks super nice.
I'm also going to agree with you. I think this will win. Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
Like, Last of Us Part 2 has good art direction. Like, all of these do, so... Like, because Ghost of Tsushima is, like, legit beautiful, so, like...
It really is.
I can't say I don't think it can win, but...
I don't know. I think these other ones have a lot more creative... like, they have that fantasy aspect of them that might be...
well, 7 Remake doesn't really, though.
It doesn't?
It's like Final Fantasy 13. You think that looks that fantasy?
They don't have any cool, like...
They have, like, summonings, but the summonings you don't see that much.
I would think, because usually Final Fantasy games have really cool...
Well, like, the first part of, like, 7... you're not going to see as much of the cool fantasy stuff until the second part.
Okay.
Because the first part just takes place in Midgar, which is just a big industrial city.
Okay.
Best score and music.
I really can't judge on this one.
Last of Us 2, Ori, Hades, Final Fantasy, Doom Eternal. Let's just make it Final Fantasy 7. I love music in that game.
Okay. Yeah, because I can't really... Yeah, I don't know. I really can't say anything about any of them.
Best audio design. And Last of Us is winning this. It's Doom, Half-Life, Ghost, Resident Evil. This is... I guess...
This is an interesting category.
Part 2... Last of Us has like the best production of any video game. Like, it's not gonna lose.
I think this is one thing where it could definitely just beat him out.
It's just gonna win. Like, cool. These other nominees, Last of Us is definitely gonna win this
prediction.
One.
We both agree. Last of Us Part 2 will win best audio design.
Best performance. Ooh, Jin, Logan, and Hades. Logan Cunningham is the actor in Hades. Naji Jeter as Miles Morales.
It won't be Jin.
Jin's voice actor, Laura Bailey, in Last of Us Part 2. Last of Us Part 2, Ellie. I think it'll be one of the Last of Us Part 2 people. What?
Oh, Laura Bailey?
Yeah, she's Abby.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it'll be Abby, Laura Bailey. I think she does an excellent job here.
I definitely think it'll be one of the Last of Us characters.
Again, it just goes back to, if you win audio design, you're probably going to win this one.
I definitely think it'll be either Ashley or Ellie or Abby.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I don't even know what Miles Morales sounds like.
You never played the first Spider-Man game?
He's in the first Spider-Man game?
Uh-huh.
No, I never finished it. I got I beat like the first boss, then I just fell off.
Games for impact.
For a thought-provoking game with pro-social meaning or message.
I'll be honest, I haven't played any of these.
If found, Kentucky Route Zero TV edition, Spiritfarer, Tell Me Why.
Tell Me Why.
Through the Darkest of Times. Yeah, I don't know any of these games.
I know what Tell Me Why is. I know Spiritfarer, I know what that is too. I just haven't played either of those two.
So
If Found looks really cool though.
I guess we're gonna skip this category because
I think Spiritfarer will win because I think that's the most that or the Kentucky one because I know both those games are really popular. For that category.
So if you had to pick one,
I would assume Kentucky Road Zero is a lot more story based. So I'd just go with that.
Okay, that's interesting.
Best ongoing. So this is just like games that like
like the multiplayer games.
Yeah, like Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Warzone, Destiny 2, Apex.
I think how long has Fortnite been out?
Like 2 or 3 years.
Because I want to say Apex.
I feel like people love Apex.
I think Apex is like the.
I feel like everyone plays all these games, and I mean, these games are popular for a reason because people still play them.
Yeah, it's been kind of a while for Fortnite.
Destiny. I think Fortnite could get it because I think
it won't be Destiny.
No,
I think process of elimination. I don't think it'll be Destiny.
I don't think
Call of Duty.
People love Warzone, but I don't think it will beat Fortnite or Apex.
Yeah.
Because I think Fortnite is in like cool stuff like the Travis Scott concert and like having these events like that. So I think it keeps people going.
Yeah, I just know a lot of people who play Apex too.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Like adults, they prefer that too. And I don't know about No Man's Sky. I've only like heard of it.
I know people say it got better. People really like the new updates and stuff.
So that'll probably won't win either. It's just between Apex. I think it would be Apex. I want to say Apex.
Yeah.
I think people.
I also like the screenshot they use for Apex. It's like, how would you know what game that is if you saw that screenshot?
I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known at all.
Best indie game, Hades will win.
We have Carrion, Fall Guys, Hades, Spelunky 2, and Spiritfarer.
Yeah, Hades is winning. Please stop talking.
Hades is winning.
If you're not winning for Game of the Year...
Oh, yeah, this is the most popular one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Fall Guys is pretty popular, but that fell off quick.
And this is, for some of this best one, I mean, Hades is going to win. Come on, guys.
I agree. Hades will probably win, just because I know that the most.
Yeah, shout out to Spelunky 2. People really like that game a lot. People said it's better than the first one, or as good, which is good to hear.
That's good to know.
That's another Donald game right there. I'm going to...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that pixel stuff? Mm-hmm.
It's like a roguelike, too.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritfarer, people... I need to play Spiritfarer anyway.
It looks interesting. This picture
it's like
looks interesting.
You're on a boat, and it's kind of like Animal Crossing because you have animals that stay with you, and you're guiding them to like because you're like
you're like a Noah's Ark thing.
Kind of. It's called Spiritfarer because you're transporting the dead. These are like dead spirits you're guiding.
That's cool. That sounds cool.
Best mobile game: Genshin Impact.
Okay, Among Us, Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, Pokemon Captain X.
How did that get nominated?
So obviously, Among Us is gonna win.
That or Genshin. Genshin's kind of incredible as a mobile game if you really think about it.
You know what? You're right because this shit's on like console.
Yeah, like it's kind of incredible you can play that game on your phone.
I want to say like.
I think Among Us.
If it was by like popularity, Among Us would win in a landslide.
Let's be real. Among Us came out in 2018.
Oh damn!
Yes.
That's amazing because I never heard of it until this year because it went viral for some reason.
Yeah, so let's
why?
Some streamer guy started playing it.
And then everybody started streaming. Playing it. That's interesting.
But yeah.
That's crazy.
So if it wins, I'd be like, that's kind of cap. It didn't even come out that year. I'd be mad if I was a Genshin Impact fan. Like Genshin.
This is the most popular one though.
Yeah. But again, like...
So I'm saying it would definitely win if it was, like, based off of what was most popular. But I do think also Genshin is a very strong contender.
And the Game Awards aren't just a popularity contest, right?
Yeah, I know. But...
I think it's between those two, and it's like...
Yeah.
I would vote for Genshin, because I think that game's a lot more impressive that you can play that game on a mobile phone. I think Among Us, you could imagine that being a mobile phone game.
Yeah.
Like, I play it on my phone.
That's true. This is more impressive.
That is actually pushing mobile games to try to get better, in a way.
That's true. Yeah. You know, you've convinced me, so I'm going to vote Genshin Impact.
Best community support. This is where I think Fall Guys could win. It's Fall Guys.
I don't know anything about this category, about these games and their support.
It's like Apex, Destiny, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Valorant. I think Fall Guys will win here.
Oh, they've like known best support. Like, is that why you think that?
Yeah, I mean,
you don't know.
I mean, this is like a weird category.
Yeah, so. I don't really know. I think you have to really be in these like communities to really.
Yeah, I don't think me or you are not people that just play like games like that continuously.
No, I mean I'd give Apex a try more if my brother wasn't on it like almost all day.
Best VR AR we don't have either. Half-Life Alyx will win because that's like the most popular one, and it had the best reviews, so that one's gonna win.
All right. Oh well, there's Dreams, Half-Life, Alyx, Marvel's. Did I say it right? It's Alyx.
Yeah.
Okay. Marvel's Iron Man VR. Star Wars Squadrons, The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. Those were the nominees for that one.
Innovation and accessibility. Last of Us Part 2 will win because that game has insane accessibility options.
Oh, does it?
Yes. It is like, every time like when that game came up, people were like, oh, Naughty Dog just dabbed on everyone with their accessibility options.
Okay.
So
they made this category for Last of Us. Got it.
Well, I think it's actually pretty smart.
Or Last of Us did this so they could.
It inspired more of a talk of accessibility options because it is smart and important to make your games be accessible to everyone, and there should be like a reward or recognition for it.
Yeah. So that's out of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Grounded, Hyperdot, and Watch Dogs Legion.
Yep.
I hate this picture with the pig. Disturbs me because the pig looks so real, and it looks like they took like a real pig, just like skinned the head and put it on his head. That's probably. Okay. I hate it. I just want to say that. The Watch Dogs. So this is literally like, I've never played this game. It looks really cool. The second one was a big improvement from the first one, I know, but I never played this one.
Yeah, people seem okay with Legion.
Okay.
I wouldn't run out to buy it, but. If it's ever on sale, maybe that's when you can get it.
Yeah.
Like, you know how people know it's running out of buy because the game came out like a couple weeks ago, and like for Black Friday, Ubisoft already gave it the 50% off discount.
I missed that. Dang it! One day I'll play Valhalla. I can't wait.
I just got the game.
Oh, awesome!
I haven't played it yet, but best action Hades.
So we got Doom Eternal, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, Neo 2, Streets of Rage 4.
The Streets of Rage 4 are so good. Anyway, the answer is Hades. I'm not gonna. That game is so fun.
I believe you.
Moving on.
Best action adventure.
Valhalla, Tsushima, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Ori, Star Wars, or Last of Us. I think Ghost will win this one. I think this is the first time where I get to see Ghost like legit just winning a category.
I agree with you. Yeah.
For
the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving.
Yeah, Ori I know a lot of people like, and I think I like the game too, but I feel like it has to be Ghost here.
Alright, we'll go Ghost on that one.
Best role playing. Oh, this is easy. Final Fantasy, Genshin, Persona 5 Royal, Wasteland 3, Yakuza Like a Dragon. Persona 5 Royal is going to win this.
Persona, yeah, for sure.
Persona 5 Royal, you could argue it's like the best JRPG of all time. So that's how easy this is going to
win. I'd be okay with that, yeah. Look at how pretty this picture is. Jesus.
I have the steelbook.
I can't get over how the graphic design in Persona 5 is just the best thing I've ever seen.
Aesthetic. Best fighting game. Grand Blue, Marvel Combat.
Oh, Mortal Kombat, sir? What?
I was like, I feel like I'm saying something wrong here. Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 5, One Punch Man, that's stupid. And Under Night, In Birth, EX, UNES, as people call it. I would imagine Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter are going to win this. Maybe UNES will, because there's a big community for it. This one's, I think it's between those three. I don't know which one will win.
Yeah, I think process of elimination. What do you think? like not One Punch Man.
Well, it's actually funny because only Grand Blue and One Punch Man came out this year. The other three have been out for a while now. These are just like updated versions of the games.
Okay.
But I don't know. I
don't know. I feel like Street Fighter 5 people. I don't know. I keep hearing that it's not actually good, but people think it's fun. You know. I mean,
out of all these fighting games, like it's just it depends. I could see any of these winning it, so I think they all have like even odds.
Okay.
I guess if I had to choose one, I want Street Fighter 1 because that's my favorite of the ones. But that's it. I think it'd be cool if UNES won too.
Okay, that's fair enough. Best family.
Animal Crossing, Crash, Fall Guys, Mario Kart, the like live home one.
Oh, the home circuit.
Yeah, Minecraft, Dungeons, Paper Mario, Animal Crossing is going to win this one.
Yeah, I think Animal Crossing definitely.
I could see people arguing for like
Minecraft.
No. I think people could argue for Crash. I know a lot of people like Crash 4.
Oh no, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think Animal Crossing just has bigger impact.
Yeah, that one's definitely gonna win. Best sim/strategy.
Crusader Kings 3, Desperados 3, Gears Tactics, Microsoft Flight Simulator, XCOM, Chimera Squad.
Microsoft Flight one is gonna win this one because that game is crazy.
Is it?
Bruv. That game's like 1,000 gigabytes. It's literally a flight simulation.
Do you have to wear like the VR thing?
No.
What? Wow. That sounds interesting.
It's really cool. Like if you see videos of it, like you see people like fly from like Japan to this country, and it actually takes like a long time to get there.
I'm gonna look that up later.
My computer can't play that game. That game is like insane.
Oh.
But the videos for it are really cool.
Okay.
Best sports/racing game: Dirt 5, F1 2020, FIFA 21, NBA 2K21, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2.
So
I think Tony Hawk is gonna win.
I thought you were going to say NBA 2K.
No.
I don't know. The only one I hear about is NBA, but that's like, I think American, like...
People love it.
Because I think worldwide, like, FIFA is, like, huge, right?
Yeah. And the thing with 2K is that, like, both FIFA and NBA 2K, no one really likes this year's editions of them.
Oh, okay.
I think Tony Hawk's will win it because those are remakes of games people have liked.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I don't know about these games. I think it's interesting that... nobody talks about like these like racing games, but there are still like a very specific like audience of people that are extremely passionate about it. You know what I mean? There are these people that just love. They're like, yes, cars, racing.
People that love like authentic racing games, I respect because I'm like, I don't get how.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But I think it's also like, you know, some people are like really into cars, and I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of like how some people like. I understand when people are into computers, so I guess it's similar to that. Best multiplayer: Animal Crossing, New Horizons, Among Us, Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Valorant.
So the Among Us award.
This is the one. This is the one.
I mean, I agree. Like, I'm not mad about it.
Because this is the most like collaborative, like I think you have to play it with other people.
Yeah,
you know, you like have to.
Because Animal Crossing multiplayer is kind of boneless.
Oh yeah, it sucks. Absolutely sucks. You just like go to someone's island to like buy stuff from their store that you don't have. Like
super fun.
I mean, there's also Call of Duty, but I think Among Us is just bigger.
Yep.
I don't know anything about Valorant.
Valorant is the League of Legends guys made that game, and people like it because it's like Counter-Strike.
Okay, interesting.
Content Creator of the Year.
I don't know these people. Oh, I know her, Alana
Pierce. J. Ann Lopez, Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, Valkyrie. I know people like Valkyrie. I think she's an Apex streamer.
I don't know any of these
Alana
people.
Pierce, I know. She's I guess my favorite of them. So I'd choose her.
Okay.
I don't know who's actually gonna win.
Yeah, I don't know anybody but Alana.
Because these guys might be all.
I only
famous.
know her, I think, because like Rooster Teeth.
Best debut game: Carry On, Mortal Shell, Raji. That looks cool. Roki, that also looks cool.
Phasmophobia.
I think Phasmophobia won this one because that's like the ghost game that people like right now.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's my
because this is the one that I see. I see this title all the time.
Yeah, the Raji and Roki though, they look kind of cool.
They do. Look at that big old wolf up there.
Yeah.
Camels. Ooh.
Yeah, Mortal Shell looks like every other Souls game, which I think it is. Carry On's cool because you're like the bad guy. Like that thing, you are that thing.
That's interesting.
Best esports athlete. We're not going to say anything for this.
That's the best way to go. Yep. That's cool. All right, moving on.
Best esports coach. We're also not saying anything about this.
I don't know who these people are.
Best esports event. Again, who cares?
Yes.
Best esports game.
Okay.
No. Did we don't know any of these?
We read it. Nah.
We're just gonna say if there's a category that isn't esports, really, we'll let y'all know.
Yeah. We're skipping all the esports.
Oh, that's
categories.
it.
Yeah, that's at the end. Okay. Anyway, yeah, because we're not into esports, so.
Yeah, and to kind of like tie everything together, I would say Hades is probably my favorite game of this year. If you want to make the argument that Persona 5 Royal, it did come out this year.
Yeah.
That's probably actually my favorite game of the year, but I love Hades a lot. Ghost of Tsushima is great. Last of Us Part 2 is up there for me. I'm excited to see.
I think Hades does have a lot of potential to take home several.
I think Last of Us is going to win a lot of awards because there's a lot of things that game does to tick off. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be a good year for games. I think ending it with Cyberpunk is going to be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Ended it hard.
I'm going to have to pre-order Cyberpunk, TBH.
Are people pre-ordering it right now?
I mean, I would. But yeah, you can.
How long have pre-orders been open?
Some guy posted on Reddit, he pre-ordered Cyberpunk 2018. And his Amazon thing said it just shipped.
That's cool.
So that's it.
Well, that's our conversation of the day.
Yeah, we got it a little bit into a big tangent at the end there. But that's okay.
But, we'll check back on our nominees. See if we're right or not.
Yeah.
I like doing that. I like being able to, predict these things.
Yeah, I know. I know in the past we would try to do the Mama K-pop awards. We would try to figure out who'd win.
Oh yeah.
And now those awards are boring, so who cares?
I know, right?
Oh, you know who's gonna win? BTS, guys. Oh, okay.
I mean, there's other awards now though,
but yeah, and I think our next podcast will be anime focused for those fans craving that.
Oh yeah. Well, should we introduce Mimi-chan?
I'll let you talk about that, Miss Creator.
Oh, really? All right, cool. I was just wondering, is this a good time? Well, we are unveiling our new podcast mascot. Her name is Mimi-chan. And she's gonna be our new poster girl for the podcast. So, she likes coffee and reading books and hanging out at the library. Yeah, okay.
She's thick.
So look forward to that cool new change. You're gonna be seeing her all the time now.
Yep, she's my wife.
It was designed by yours truly, me, the artist friend. So.
And yeah, if you guys may have noticed that we're also on a lot of podcast platforms now. So we're on Google Podcasts, Spotify.
We're on Google Podcasts now? Uh-huh. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. We're on other podcasting websites too. So pretty much most places where you listen to podcasts, you can find us there. We're on Spotify, like I said.
Yeah, just so you know.
And we're still going to upload our stuff on YouTube. If you want to say sub to that. And yeah, make sure to keep following us. Please give us plays. To our audience grows.
Please listen to us.
I know, 2 hours in. Please listen to us still.
All right, well, this was Mimi Podcast.
Yep, and we'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.